The 1920s, Jazz Age, Roaring Twenties, a decade of contradictions. Beneath the glitz and glamour, a darker side thrived. Big cities, pulsating with life, became battlegrounds. Gangsters, shrouded in an odd mix of glamour and brutality, rose to power. They were the law unto themselves. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. Each city had its kingpins, their empires built on illegal booze, gambling, and vice. The shadows held a seductive allure. These weren't just criminals, they were outlaws, rebels, living on their own terms. The average Joe, struggling with prohibition and the post-war hangover, saw a perverse romanticism in these figures. They were Robin Hoods, some whispered, taking from the rich and powerful. The truth, as always, was far more complex and far more brutal. The image is iconic. Pinstripe suits, fedoras tilted low, and the unmistakable silhouette of a Thompson submachine gun. The Tommy gun was more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of power, a tool of intimidation. The trench coat, often romanticized, served a practical purpose. It concealed an arsenal, pistols, knives, maybe a blackjack tucked away for close encounters. These men were always prepared for war. Their appearance was meticulously crafted, a uniform of intimidation. They wanted to be noticed, feared, and respected. And they were. This look, this swagger, seeped into the public consciousness. Movies, newspapers, even fashion couldn't escape the influence of the gangster. Life imitating art, or was it the other way around? Al Capone, Bugs Moran, Lucky Luciano. These weren't just names, they were legends whispered in hushed tones. Each had their own story, their own path to notoriety. Capone, the ruthless boss of Chicago, built his empire on fear and violence. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, a brutal display of power, cemented his place in criminal history. Moran, Capone's rival, fought back with equal brutality. The streets ran red with the blood of gangsters and innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. It was a war with no winners. Luciano, a shrewd strategist, understood the power of alliances. He formed the Commission, a council of crime lords, attempting to bring order to the chaos. But even with rules, the violence continued. The air crackled with jazz and the scent of illegal liquor. Speakeasies, hidden dens of forbidden pleasure, became gangster meeting places. Deals were struck, scores settled, all under the dim glow of candlelight. The streets were their battlegrounds. Shootouts erupted in broad daylight, leaving behind a trail of shattered glass and fear. The police seemed powerless, often outgunned and outmaneuvered, but the violence couldn't last forever. The public, initially enamored by the gangster mystique, grew weary of the bloodshed. The government, pressured to act, cracked down hard. The Roaring Twenties came to an end, but the legacy of the gangster endured. Their story, a cautionary tale of ambition, greed, and the corrupting influence of power, continues to fascinate us. It's a reminder that beneath the glitz and glamour, darkness always lurks.